And we say Sitaram to you, our listeners on Radio Jagrati 102.7 FM, our viewers on TV Jagrati. I hope that you had a wonderful Wednesday so far, my friends. Of course, for some it's been a long week, for some it's been a week that's taking forever to go. But it's Wednesday the 14th of December 2016 and broadcasting to you live from the corner of Pashi Main Road Extension, Cheshire Roosevelt Highway into Nupuna. Once again on a Wednesday afternoon, it's time for the program Digital Guru with Paniji Shiva, Janak Maharaj. Of course, Paniji is a teacher one at the El Dorado North Hindu School, managing director of ICT Experts Limited, and an instructor at the University of Trinidad and Tobago. Sitaram ji, Paniji.
Sitaram Ricky, and welcome to all our listeners and viewers once again to another episode of the Digital Guru. And Ricky, you know, the Christmas season is around. We have a mere 10 days again for Christmas Eve, which is the pinnacle of the gift giving. As long as there's the gift giving, we have to acquire the gifts in some way. In most cases, we purchase gifts. Now, there are many ways we can purchase gifts, and today we want to dwell on safety when it comes to purchasing and the ways we can purchase, especially when we come to the technological world that we live in, the digital world that we live in. So first things, let's start with the traditional safety things that you might hear around now. You would hear different safety tips about pickpockets. When you go shopping, you know, ladies, hold your purse tightly, and men, have your wallets secured, and be careful of pickpockets. We also have to be very careful and mindful of those around us in terms of robberies. We are seeing a lot more of that. And when these things happen, your purse is stolen, your wallet is stolen. In that, we have a lot of little cards that we use for purchasing in this digital world. We have the links cards, the debit cards, then we also have the credit cards. And there are so many types of credit cards now, and we'll try to speak about some of the challenges we have with each type as we go along.
Within those cards, you've got your identification.
You
card,
also have,
you've got you can have your identification stolen.
Yes, because along with the cards, you also get your DP, your national ID. Most people have those things together with those things in your wallet, and so in terms of identity theft. That's one way that, you know, the criminals now, it's not a mere just taking your cash out and flinging the rest of it away.
Because I'm sure it's general knowledge now that you can stay at home and shop. You don't need to
stay at home and shop, and we'll come to that with some tips for that as well as we go along in the program. But first off, to start things off, if in case your purse or your wallet, your credit cards are stolen, what are the things that you are supposed to do, right? So our first infomercial in our videos will identify things and the steps that you're supposed to take in case your stuff, your credit cards are stolen or you have lost them. You can't find them. You can't just say, well, you know, maybe it's home. You can't take that chance. So let's see what you're supposed to do if it is your credit cards are stolen or lost.
What to do if your card is lost or stolen? If you lose your credit card, inform the card issuer immediately. If your card is stolen, make a police report and inform the card issuer immediately. Once you report the loss, your maximum liability for unauthorized charges prior to reporting the loss to the card issuer will be capped at $100. This cap applies provided you have not acted fraudulently or were not grossly negligent or did not fail to inform the card issuer as soon as reasonably practicable after you became aware that the card was lost or stolen. Read the Association of Banks in Singapore's Credit Card Guide for more information. This message is brought to you by the Institute for Financial Literacy, a collaboration between Money Sense and Singapore Polytechnic.
And we say Sitaram once again to you, our listeners on Radio Jagrati, and of course our viewers on TV Jagrati. And while that would have been an advisory coming out of Singapore, It applies.
It applies to us around the world. Wherever we get good information, we share it with everyone. And so one of the first things that we have to do is report it to the banks, to the issuers of the credit cards, right? We have to report it that, I just don't know where my card is. Maybe it's been stolen. Maybe you have lost it. Maybe it's been stolen in case of a robbery, or it has been stolen, you're a pickpocket or something. You have to report it. It's your duty. Because if anything is done with the card in the period that it has been lost or stolen, or if you're just thinking that maybe I have it at home, you are liable for it because you did not report it. So that's very important for us to know that you need to report that. Many people, I think yesterday on the program you got a call from
well, that was a little different issue. She was
couldn't use her card again. But but you need to report these. The idea is you need any irregularities. You need to report to the issue of the card, and they will advise you any issue that you have with your cards at all.
Because
you need that.
That's why you're paying your service charge. And
exactly.
To the fullest,
so we need to do that. So we know that that's one way. When you know that someone has robbed you or they have pickpocketed you and they have stolen your cards, well, that's one thing. Yeah. But then recently in Trinidad, and especially in 2016, starting late in 2015, we would have heard the term skimming. Now skimming came from in the old days, skimming, if you have a big pile of money, somebody would just take a little bit off the top, to skim a little bit off the top. And that's where the term came from, skimming. So you take a little bit off the top, skim some off the top. But skimming in the digital world has a whole new meaning. We have seen, if you just do a Google, because I did that before I came here, if you just do a Google of skimming in Trinidad and Tobago, you would see every major newspaper would have had reports over the past few years. And one of them even claims of millions of dollars being lost in skimming.
So now they're not just taking off a little bit off the top, they're
emptying your head. You'll go and you put in your card one day and you'll see nothing, and you know that you are in possession of your card, no one has used it, and you're wondering how. So maybe many of our listeners and viewers will not be aware of how skimming works or things they should look for when skimming happens. And again, we will take another video from somewhere in the US where skimming was done, and they had some nice advice for the users of ATM machines, where skimming is mostly done. Right? So our next video will show us and tell us a little more about skimming, so that we will be more cautious when we visit our ATMs, especially to take out some quick cash to do the shopping for Christmas.
Using an ATM machine is something we all do often, but the next time you swipe, you may want to think twice.
It's a huge problem, multi-billion-dollar industry.
It's called ATM skimming, and the crime has grown into a nationwide problem.
Skimming is the act of capturing the information or data that's on the magnetic strip of an ATM card or a credit card, and then re-encoding it on a blank credit card that has a magnetic strip, allowing the criminal to then use your credit card as if it was their own.
Thieves are able to intercept personal bank information using homemade devices attached onto ATM bank machines.
The suspect will bring these little mobile data collectors, and they'll put them over and mount them over where your card would go in.
A card that's swiped through a slot that's been tampered with gives criminals the ability to steal large amounts of cash.
After the transaction is complete, the criminal retrieves this device that they've placed on the machine, and then inside the back of the device there's a hard drive that has actually captured your information. The information contained on your magnetic strip may include your full name, depending on the type of card it is. It also contained the account number and then another series of numbers that go along with it that allow the card to function properly.
Besides ATM machines, Gas stations are another location where this type of theft is most likely to occur.
Any place that a credit card is accepted or a debit card is accepted, this crime can occur.
El Segundo police detectives say ATM skimming is hard to track, making it very attractive for thieves.
It's a very difficult crime for us to investigate. It's very time consuming, and oftentimes we end up at a dead end where we don't end up identifying somebody.
Although ATM skimming may be widespread, there are many ways to protect yourself from becoming a victim.
One of the ways you can protect yourself when using an ATM machine is by covering the ATM keypad when entering your PIN. Detectives also say it's very important to always be aware of your surroundings because you never know who or what could be watching you.
As you see, this component here it has a video camera inside it, and they'll mount these somewhere around in the area of your ATM machine. What that video camera will be recording, it will record any of your PIN numbers that are used when you are putting your ATM or debit card inside the machines.
Some of them have been up inside the lighting fixtures. Oftentimes there's a brochure plastic case over that they will affix them to, so they're very well disguised.
Being aware of all bank transactions will also lessen the chances of becoming a victim.
Certainly go back and make sure that only the charges that you approved are the ones that are on your account.
Once the information's been captured, we may not know about it for a month and a half when the victim realizes that fraudulent charges are appearing on their statement.
ATM skimming may be on the rise, but staying informed and educated will reduce the likelihood of being swiped by criminals. For El Segundo TV, I'm Alex Padres.
And welcome back to the program Digital Guru right here on radio and TV Jagrati. Looking at using the ATM and skimming.
Skimming, because as you say, we're giving advice for the shopping rush which is upon us. And most people, they want a little quick cash. The easiest thing to go, you go to a ATM, and in this case we see it's both debit and credit cards. You're not safe with any of them. So some of the tips that came out of it, and as you heard in that one, it's most cards have a magnetic strip at the back which has all your data, your information on it. And just as the ATM machine has a card reader, there are card readers you can purchase now and have, or even build, as I said, homemade, to put over the existing card readers in the ATM machine. And when you swipe through that, the criminals also get your information.
I know one little tip that they've been giving here in Trinidad, a little tug on that piece where the card is inserted to see if it comes out easily.
If it comes off easily, don't use the machine. So that is one thing for sure you can do. So the first line of
before you
protection,
put in your card,
before you insert your card, you give a little tug and you inspect that area. If it's looking unusual to you, then do not use it. Right? Do not use it. Apart from that, we saw where there's the installation of cameras somewhere, hidden cameras. And so those cameras, when you punch your PIN in, they record your PIN, they have your data, they can put that data onto a blank card, as you heard, and then they have your PIN because they saw the numbers that you pressed. So the other tip for that, cover the pad when you're typing in your PIN as well.
Some of the ATM providers now, they've got a little covering over the keypad. So that you can,
yes, and even that you need to block as much as you could to type in your PINs, your security codes before you do. And lastly, you know, it's a cultural thing here in Trinidad. You know, you make your withdrawal, whatever, and you take your slip and you just dump it, right? But maybe, just a suggestion, we can start keeping those slips and doing a reconciliation. It's something in accounting that you need to do, you know, to make sure that the money that you are authorizing to go in and out is the money that is coming out your account. Because when you get our statements at the end of the month or online, you get your statements. How many of us take the time to go through and see what is coming out? And you know, that's a big issue right now with bank charges and so on, which is not today's program. But if you look at your statements, you will really be amazed of the type of monies that come out of your account. And in this case, you will see if your money is being withdrawn in big amounts, small amounts. It doesn't matter. If you take 1 cent from each person, at the end of the day, you'll be a richer man. So this is the thinking of these type of criminals. So be very wary of your surroundings and look around those people around you as well, because they will always be somewhere close by most of the times, you know, to get that information so that they can use it maliciously.
And of course, those hanging around, you never accept help from them in using your card.
And you know, we have many people who find difficulties in using the ATMs, and which brings us back to our digital literacy, which we have been preaching for the past year, for most of this year, digital literacy. And knowing to use these things and being familiar with it is part of the digital literacy world. Look out for our courses coming back in January, right? Where we will help you to get up to date with these sort of technologies.
You know, speaking about our courses happening in January, that's a perfect gift to give for Christmas.
It is, right? And
the gift of education. Enroll one of your loved ones, or perhaps yourself. Give yourself a gift this Christmas.
At
by enrolling one of these
ICT
courses.
Experts, you can contact us 692-4283. That's our telephone number. Or if you want to send us an email or contact us on social media, you can go to the website www.itint.com, and all our contacts is there on the contact page, including the phone number and directions to our office as well. And that's a very good thing. If you are interested, call us. We can do up a certificate for you, a gift certificate of whatever amount you want to put towards the gifts to someone, a grandparent. You know, grandparents, that was a big hit with us.
Yes.
Our programs this year was very big. We didn't expect, even NCC when they visited us were amazed of the response we got from the elders
enrollment of the
that
elders.
wanted to get involved with digital literacy. So you can go to that website and call us to get that information. Now, the next thing we want to share with you, what do these what can they do when they get that information from you, like from the skimming and other ways which we will speak about. So our next video will show us what hackers use stolen card data for, as we will learn more about how to keep ourselves safe in this shopping season.
If you've done some holiday shopping at Target, you might be wondering what a hacker could learn about you from your credit card. When you swipe, here's what a hacker could learn from the data in that magnetic strip: your name, your credit card number, the card's expiration date, and the CVV code on the back.
All of this key data that can be used to falsify that card and go ahead and fraudulently use it online, they can access that just by taking what's on the strip.
In the case of the Target hack, that data may have been enough for hackers to make a counterfeit card. One security researcher who showed us a different credit card hack explains. To the employee, everything looks normal.
I just have to log in, I can make a selection here, and then I can do a credit card swipe. It'll ask me for the CVV, I can put in a CVV, whatever numbers I want, and then click pay. Right? Nothing seems untoward.
For the customer, pretty standard.
You're paid, you get your receipt, you move on.
But for the hacker,
I have access to the entire magstripe data that's on this device, and I can get all of this and enough information to actually create a whole different card.
the Target hack has some saying that the U.S. is a little behind the times in terms of secure payments.
Well, one more secure solution that they have in Europe right now is this chip and pin system, in which the card doesn't actually have a strip, it has a chip within it, and every time you use it, you also have to use a pin.
According to the Federal Reserve, credit card fraud in England plummeted 34% in the 6 years after English banks and merchants implemented chip and pin cards. During a similar period in France, fraud from in-person card fell 35%. But this holiday season, millions of American shoppers might have been the target.
And we say Sitaram and welcome back to the program, The Digital Guru, right here on radio and energy. Last cards we've spoken about using of a machine.
Because in those instances, it's similar to the skimming, where they collect your data, and we saw where the hacker then has your data on the system. They take a blank card, and because of the magnetic strip and the way the data is transferred, they create a whole new card with your information. They have your PIN number.
One useful bit of advice: Always keep your eyes on your card.
Always
Never let
keep
your
your-
card.
Never let your cards get up. So that point, Ricky, brings us to the next way that the modern day digital criminal is stealing your identity and stealing your credit card information. Because the latest technology in credit cards, it's called RFID credit. RFID, which is radio frequency identification cards, you don't have to swipe. So we see the dangers there. You just have to, tap your card, and then the information is transferred out, as well as something similar. Phones are now coming with inbuilt payment, which is similar using the RFID as well, where you can just tap your phone and make your payments because that's inbuilt into the phone. And so that's the latest technology. And that to me is even scarier. Than because at least we can check the ATM, make sure it's suspicious and don't use it. But I don't want to spoil this video. So let's get straight into our next video, which will tell us a little more of where the technology is heading in terms of credit cards, shopping, how to keep yourself safe.
Okay, I got one.
What the
Is that your credit card number? I can show you.
Call it high-tech hijacking. Thieves able to steal your credit card information without laying a hand on your wallet. It's brand new technology.
And it's already leaving nearly 140 million people at risk for electronic pickpocketing. On your side, investigator Scott Knoll has more in a story you will see only on 3.
It all centers around radio frequency identification technology, or RFID. You'll find it in everything from your passport to credit and debit cards. It's supposed to make paying for things faster and easier. Just scan the card and you've paid. But as you're about to see, it could also make things a lot easier for crooks trying to rip you off. In a crowd, Walt Augustinowitz blends right in, and that's the problem.
If I'm walking through a crowd and I get near people's back pocket and their wallet, I just have to get that close to it, and there's my credit card number and expiration on the screen.
Armed with a credit card reader he bought for less than $100 online and a netbook computer, we put Augustinowitz to the test. Patrolling Beale Street looking for RFID chips to read, credit card information to steal.
There you go. It's a MasterCard.
Yeah, that's right. That's it.
There you go. And right now I got the middle blocked off here, but that your number and expiration date?
Even people who thought there was no way we could pick their pocket electronically without laying a hand on them.
I'd say no, you can't.
Soon found out, yes, we could.
You have a SunTrust card in there, and that's your account number and expiration date. I can actually show you here the entire number.
What do you think? I don't like it.
Neither did she. Her card captured too.
And that's just too vulnerable for everyone to take advantage of you.
Even scarier, Augustinowitz says bad guys could work a crowd, stealing numbers, then email them anywhere in the world.
After a game here, I could literally probably pull a couple thousand cards.
Credit card numbers, expiration dates, and in some cases, even your name. Enough, Augustinowitz says, to do damage.
We've done it. We picked up the phone, called 800 numbers, ordered stuff under a fake name, shipped to a foreclosed home, and the product comes in the mail.
It's not just your credit and debit cards at risk. While harder to hack, all U.S. passports issued since 2006 contain RFID technology that can be read and swiped.
It gives me a lot of personal information like your date of birth, your photo if I wanted to make some sort of ID.
Augustinowitz is founder of Identity Stronghold. His company markets secure sleeves and ID holders meant to block RFID hacking. Among his customers, the U.S. government.
As soon as I squeeze this, it can read it. But then when I have it closed, it can't read it.
So is Augustinowitz just a boogeyman trying to scare people into buying a product, or is the threat real? We showed video of Augustinowitz in action to computer security expert Mark Gillenson.
It's potentially a major problem.
Gillenson calls it technology run wild. He calls our findings compelling.
I think people do need to be concerned and should be aware, and we'll see if this becomes a major problem.
And that's the big question. Experts at the Identity Theft Resource Center tell WREG On Your Side investigators they've never seen a case of RFID skimming used to steal information. But Augustinowitz believes that's because the crime could easily go untraced. Unsuspecting people falling victim to just another face in the crowd, hidden scanner in hand.
You have a Chase card.
Yeah?
Yeah, here's the expiration date and your number. I can actually...
That's it?
Yeah.
That's it?
You might as well sit there and print your credit card number across your t-shirt and walk around with it because it's the same difference.
In about 1 hour on Beale Street, we scanned 26 people. 5 of them, nearly 20%, had cards with RFID chips. Now, to see if your card has the chip, just look for this symbol. If you see it, your card could be vulnerable. We asked all the major credit card companies for their responses to what we found. We posted those statements on our website inside this story at WREG.com. For the On Your Side investigators, I'm Scott Knoll, WREG News Channel 3.
That got my attention.
Scary.
Very scary. And luckily for us, Ricky, here and our viewers and listeners here in Trinidad and Tobago, I stand to be corrected, but I am not aware of any of our providers or financial institutions here in Trinidad that do have the RFID card issued yet.
I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it yet. We do have the chip cards, which are as vulnerable as the skimming for skimming and so forth. They have a little more extra additional security in it. You know, when I showed my my class at the university this video, you know, and they were at the master's level in a technology course, and they were like amazed, where is the technology taking us? So the pickpocket doesn't have to pull your wallet out of your pocket anymore. As we saw there in a crowd, you just walk with the readers hidden in your jacket maybe, and just walk close enough to someone, and the reader, which is the same reader that is used at the point of sale system in the store, can pull your data straight off. And additional to that, we would know that to make an online purchase, we had another video actually which we wouldn't have time. We don't have that video today to show you, where they took that information that they collected from the credit card and made an online purchase. Because there's no check. They had all the information that is needed for an online purchase from just taking the information in.
It's well, as much as technology evolves, you've got to involve the thinking as well and protect yourself.
So at least we know that whenever it does reach us here in Sweet TNT, we have those protective coverings that we saw in the video there. And now that brings us to our last safety tip in terms of your purchasing for the holidays: online shopping. Online shopping, even though we have the tax
7% on
it really I don't think it's making a dent really. I mean, because it still works out a lot cheaper in some cases in doing your shopping. I wouldn't advise any online shopping this late in the game, however, because what happens in it is the postal service is so jammed with the deliveries that sometimes your gifts get lost. However, you still wish to take the chance. Our next video will give you some safety tips for shopping online for the holidays.
We all love the convenience of online shopping for the holidays. Browse, click, check out, and it's delivered. You're done. But one wrong purchase on a less than reputable website could not only put a damper on your holiday cheer, but also mean you could end up losing control of your personal information, or worse. To keep the bad guys out in the cold, follow Symantec's top 5 safe online shopping tips for the holiday season. Number 1, newer is always better. Make sure you're using the very latest version of your browser. Bad guys love outdated browsers. They're an open door to your personal information and payment details. Don't let them in. Number 2, always shop on sites with strong encryption. This means they keep your credit card details safe. Look for sites that begin with the HTTPS:. The S means your information is safe and encrypted. If the address bar turns green, that's an added layer to keep your information secure and protected. Green is good. Number 3, this symbol is your best friend when you're shopping online. Look for the Norton Secured Seal. It's a key indicator your information is secured and the website is legitimate. Number 4, passwords. Make sure yours is strong and unique. Birthdays, house numbers, pet names are all too easy for hackers to figure out. Make yours unique or use a secure password manager like Norton Identity Safe. Number 5. Here's a brand new one to add to your list. Norton Shopping Guarantee. Every time you see Norton Shopping Guarantee on a website you purchase from, you'll automatically receive identity theft protection, purchase guarantee, and guarantee you'll get the lowest price on that site. That's a lot of guarantees at no cost to you, and you don't even need to register. Don't make the holidays the most wonderful time of the year for cyber criminals. Follow Symantec's safe online shopping tips, and you'll be a happy shopper, keep your information safe, and keep the bad guys out in the cold. For more information, visit staysecureonline.com.
And we say Sitaram to you once again, all listeners on Radio Jagrati or viewers on TV Jagrati, the program Digital Guru with Panaji Shiva, Janak Maharaj, of course, are keeping you safe during this holiday shopping season.
So many of the tips you got there for shopping in this shopping season here and purchasing your gifts, we have dealt with in detail in past programs. They are also dealt with in our digital literacy courses as well. It's one of the first courses that we also actually have in our certifications, where you learn, how to keep your browsers, and your browser, which is the program you use to go on the internet, must be updated because hackers look for the outdated ones. Also, encryption was one that we did in the past. We spoke about encryption and the HTTPS, also taught in the courses that we have, as well as making strong passwords. We have very unique ways that we teach in the class that you can make very, very secure passwords that are easy to remember. One of the reasons why we have insecure passwords is because we have so many things with passwords and we just want one easy something to remember. However, we can help you. We can make that an easy one to remember, but also very, very secure. Adding different characters, numbers, mix it up, capitals, commas.
As you said, some people, they've got one password for every single device and everything else.
And once you get that hacked, or somebody gets one of the passwords from one thing, they have access to everything else that you have that password for. And so creating good passwords is one of the ways you can keep your credit card information safe. Use reputable sites. That's all I have been shopping online for many years, and I only use the big names like Amazon and eBay and so on, which you still have to be careful of, because as we saw in past programs, the hackers can make sites looking exactly the same and redirect you and get your information. So all these safety tips for those specific types of online shopping can be learned in our courses. If you want to share the numbers.
Of course, sir. 692-4283, that's 692-4283, the number that you contact ICT Experts Limited, or you can just visit them at www.itntt.com, that's ITINTT.com. You'll get all the links that you need and all the information as well.
Contact us page has all our social media, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. You can join us, follow us. We give tips from time again. And that being said, we wish you all a safe shopping for your Christmas. Until our next program.
Well, this is where we wrap up the program, ICT, or rather Digital Guru, right here on radio and TV Jagrati.